Welcome to Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, with your host, Steve Garrett, lifetime member of the National Corvette Museum, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 45 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call them at 833-840-5334. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google," or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. And be sure to visit the Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteToday.com. You can access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join our Corvette Today Facebook group there as well. Also, make sure you sign up for the Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at CorvetteToday.ck.page. And if you like YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube as well. And be sure to patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, MidEngineCorvetteForum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of fellow Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at MidEngineCorvetteForum.com. Soul Performance Products. Developed and manufactured in the United States, the Soul Performance Products exhaust portfolio has been tailored to elevate the experience of the world's most exciting sports cars, including the latest generation of the Corvette. Soul Performance Products at SOULPP.com, the official performance exhaust of Corvette Today. Aerolarri Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvette. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit Aerolarri.com. That's AEROLARRI.com. And use the promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. Ciocca Corvettes. If you're a Corvette enthusiast, and I know you are since you're listening and watching Corvette Today, then you need to know about Ciocca Corvette. They're based in Atlantic City, where you can find over 100 new and pre-owned vets on the lot and inbound. Ciocca also ships Corvettes all over the country, custom ordered to your specifications. They're staffed with experienced pros who can answer all your questions. So don't compromise. Visit CioccaCorvette.com. That's CIOCCA Corvette.com and find out more. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. And a shout out to Canadian Corvette Forum and Corvette Forum, welcoming Corvette enthusiasts from around the world. All right, everybody, here we go. It's time for the latest Corvette news and headlines with my buddy Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Keith is here every other week. We keep you current and up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. Keith, welcome back to the show. It's the week of Memorial Day. It's the unofficial start of summer, buddy.
Yeah, and finally it's here, although it's been feeling like summer's been here for a little while now with our heat in Florida, but we are all good with it. And yeah, it's start of summer, and it's like everything gets real serious now. We got good shows coming up. We got road trips. Of course, later on in the summer, we've got the caravans coming up. So lots of good things happening.
It's going to be a busy summer, that's for sure, buddy.
Absolutely.
Let's start off like we always do with a Corvette production update from the Bowling Green Assembly Plant.
Yep, we always got a lot to share, including these latest production numbers. Last week, the Stingray surpassed 23,000 for the model year, and the Z06 just zoomed by 6,800. And of course, we could be at 7,000 Z06s by the end of this week. They are just really cranking them out right now. That's all good news. Constraints have really dropped down to really nothing in the last couple order cycles. A couple things here and there, but nothing at all for E-Ray or the Z06. Speaking of E-Rays, we are seeing some getting built. In fact, last Wednesday, it looks like it was the best day yet for the E-Rays, with 16 produced in just one day.
Wow.
So we're currently looking at still just about 375 or so. Of course, these are numbers from last week. But when you add everything up, we're at 30,200 Corvettes for all 3 2024 models. And of course, with 3 more months to go in production, those numbers are going to really climb. That's all good news there. Speaking again of the E-Rays, it also looks like there was an E-Ray only allocation last Thursday that went out. I didn't really do a lot of confirmation with a lot of dealers, but several dealers reached out to me and said, hey, we got E-Rays, but only E-Rays. My thinking is maybe Chevy's now finally ready to start building these cars more and more.
Yeah.
And in fact, looking at that additional 3 months of production time and where we're at now, I'm going to kind of make a prediction that we might see close to 1,000 E-Rays produced for 2024 model year, if not even more. All of a sudden, we saw this at the Z06 is in their very first inaugural year where they were slow, and then all of a sudden it just took off there at the end.
Yeah.
I'm anticipating that we might be getting out of this ramp-up phase and they'll actually start building some cars to get us to that 1,000-car milestone. That's just my guess, but I think that's going to happen.
It feels like we're ready to break out for sure, buddy. Also, we got the build-out dates for some of those canceled colors for 2023 into 2024, didn't we?
Yeah, so last time we spoke, Steve, we were pretty excited because it appeared we had some dates for the end of the 2024s and the start of the 2025s, which we were told could start on July 15th. This actually came as part of a GM Communications letter to a dealer, but now we're learning that Chevy has this list of build-out dates for the canceled colors, which basically gives us the last dates that you can order these cars before they go away. Those colors go away forever. They go on through August, so that's why, again, our feeling is another 3 months or so of production. We'll give you some of these dates here. We've got Amplify Orange. That final date is 6/27. Accelerate Yellow is 7/11. Silver Flare, 7/11. Cacti, July 25th. Carbon Flash on August 1st. Ceramic Matrix Gray, August 1st. And then the final one, Hypersonic Gray, on August 8th. So, if you take an order on August 8th and then 4 to 6 weeks to build, we're looking at early mid-September time of when the 2025s might start. We're thinking again, and that's again when they started last year. The Stingray started in mid-September as well. It's still a full year of production, and there's going to be a lot of cars made, I think.
Yeah, definitely, buddy. That sounds good. It's a pretty healthy year, that's for sure. Also, we saw that Chevrolet launched an update for the build and buy configurator, didn't they? What are the updates that they put in there?
Yeah, so on May 15th, I go on to Chevrolet.com to build an E-Ray. It's what I do when I'm bored. Steve, it's the same damn car every time. It ends up being the same car. So nothing's changing there. But as soon as I got onto it on May 15th, I saw that the interface was much different. Just the way they moved things around, the headers were different, the menu bar was different. And also they changed the name. This used to be just called the build and price configurator. And now they're calling it the build and buy, because when you're all done with your build, it actually at the very end, it shows you available cars offered to dealers close to you.
Wow.
So it might not be perfect, but it'll actually show you like this one has only 3 differences compared to the one that you just built. And then it shows you the price. And then if you want to contact that dealer. So that part's a lot different. And then the other really big change, I think, is why it looks good on the desktop. This looks really good on my iPhone, and I'm assuming Android is probably the same reason, because the way they have it structured is you're building this car on your phone, you've got the car on the top, and then the menus actually slide underneath the photo as you're scrolling. So, and that's the key here, because before you had like exterior, you had wheels, and now the wheels are now under the exterior option. So when you're in any of these tabs, you just keep scrolling down, and they're just all stacked on each other now. So like the exteriors, like the paints, and then you have your stripes. Convertible, you can pick your roof, whether the nacelles are carbon flash or not, and then it just keeps going on down the list. And then you get your wheels and then your brakes. So everything on the exterior is all in that one tab now. And then also with the options, everything's really stacked up there. Like, first your specific packages like Z51 or the Z07. Those are then followed by your regular options, like do you want the body color vents? Do you want the chrome emblems or the black emblems? So just keep going through those. But it looks really good on the phone. So if you haven't really done any of this on the phone, or you're looking to buy a car, try it on the phone, because it's a good upgrade and I think you'll like it.
Boy, thanks a lot, buddy. Now I'm going to have to go out and build another car.
Well, it's time to start looking around. You've had that car for a couple of years.
Yeah, I need a ZR1, don't I?
We could all use the ZR1, Steve.
Exactly. Hey, I just realized this, buddy. With the Malibu that was being canceled, the Corvette is really the only quote-unquote car left in the Chevrolet lineup.
Steve, it's a car company that no longer makes cars. Actually, yeah, this is crazy. This kind of occurred to me. We heard that the Malibu is going to go away later this year, which is kind of sad for me. I have a little bit of a personal connection with the Malibu. My oldest son got a 2009 Malibu when he graduated from college. And then actually that car is still going strong today. Over the years, we've seen these sedans just going. First, it was the Impala. Of course, the Camaro ends in 2024. And now the Malibu. And of course, that leaves Corvette as technically the only car in the lineup. The rest are all trucks. trucks, SUVs, vans, and crossovers. This is our fault, I guess, because people are choosing SUVs and trucks more and more these days. But also kind of the regulations, you go back 20 or 30 years and automakers, they had a fuel economy penalty on sedans, but that wasn't there for trucks. And so then you had all these SUVs that are being marketed as trucks to get around these fuel economy numbers. And so that's why they became more popular. And eventually people just like all the storage you have, sitting up a little bit higher. They feel like they're a little bit safer than being down lower with a car. So we've just seen these major habits of automotive buying change over the last 20 or 30 years, and no one's making sedans these days.
Wow, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? Think about that. Corvette is the only quote-unquote car left in the whole Chevrolet lineup.
I never would have seen that coming, 20 years ago.
That's amazing. And also, buddy, we have the top choices for both the Stingray and the Z06 for 2024 now that the model year is almost over.
During the NCM Bash, the Corvette team shared some of the production information for the current 2024 model year. When they gather up this info, they showed as of April 1st, there were 30,196 Corvettes. These cars have been produced already or on the order books and are scheduled for production. The way they break that down, currently 76% of those cars, 22,948, are Stingrays. 22% are Z06s, which is 6,644, and then just 2% E-Rays at 604. Stingray owners, we're going to cover some of the options and how they're outfitting their cars. Right now, the coupes are leading the convertibles by 58 to 42%, and the top selling Stingray overall is now the 2LT coupe. We've seen 5,550 of those produced, and in fact, the 2LT trim package is the sweet spot among Corvette buyers for the Stingray. When these body styles are combined, the 2LTs accounted for 9,735 units, followed by 6,903 3LTs and 6,311 1LTs. That's the number I think to watch, is the 1LTs.
Yeah.
We actually have seen them on constraint. I think Chevy's trying to limit because a lot of dealers now are ordering for dealer stock. And what they do is they get in some cheap 1LTs so they can say, see, we've got Stingrays starting at 73 or 72 or 67. I saw one dealer out of Miami, Bomden Chevrolet, does a lot of 1LTs. They're selling them for like 63.
Wow.
$7,000 off of MSRP.
Yeah.
But it's that price number they get. So that's why we see a bunch of those 1LTs. Moving on to top colors for the Stingrays, Arctic White, 15%, Torch Red, 14%, Black at 11%, Red Mist at 11%, and then Hypersonic Gray, which is going away. That was the fifth color, and that came in at 8%. The bottom three colors all ended up at 3% of production. They're Cacti Green, the Silver Flare, and the Accelerate Yellow. Of course, all three of those colors are set to be replaced next year anyways as well.
Right.
And then finally for Stingray, 50% of buyers are getting the standard wheel in either silver or the carbon flash wheel. And those gloss black Q9Is we always talk about that have been on constraint, they're the third popular wheel at 21%. Again, we see why they keep just running out of those. They keep just selling more than they actually thought they would, I think. So we did see some price changes on a couple of the other gloss black wheels that hopefully offer up those. But people like those gloss black wheels, so they're selling pretty well there.
Yep, that's pretty cool. How about the Z06s?
Again, we mentioned 22% of all 2024s are Z06s. That number again, 6,644 is what we see on the books. These cars are selling at 50-50, exactly, coupes and convertibles.
Wow.
Now, I'm sure one of them's a little bit ahead of the other, but we don't know what that is. In 2023, actually, the convertibles were the most popular model for the Z06, and they actually sold the coupes by about 200 cars. Now, I think a lot of that was the 70th anniversary package. The majority of the cars for the Z06 70th anniversary package were convertible. So I think that's why it got the bump. But yeah, it's 50-50 right now, which again is just kind of amazing to me because the Z06 is supposed to be the track car. It's the track weapon, yet people love the convertible version of it. We do see buyers still ordering the Z06s with the higher trim levels. Most are overwhelmingly choosing 3LZ. The coupes are at 68% and the convertibles are at a whopping 82%. So people are buying loaded convertibles is what we're seeing here. 5 top colors, again, Black, 13%, Torch Red, and Arctic White. All those three are actually at 13%. We have Red Mist 4th at 10%, and then again, Hypersonic Gray 5th at 8%. And again, that color is going away. The 3 bottom colors, Cacti Green only 2%, Silver Flare 3%, and then Ceramic Matrix Gray at 4%. To kind of give you some numbers, the black cars at the top, that's about 860 or so, and then at the bottom, 133 or so Cacti. Nice little spread there. A lot of cars in the middle, those Rapid Blue, Riptide Blue. They're all kind of there in the middle. Doing great. No problems there. Going into some of the packages, 23% of buyers are ordering the Z07 performance package.
Nice.
Those come with the carbon ceramic wheels. So the non-Z07 buyers, there's 19% of those are actually upgrading their brakes for the J57 CCBs.
Huh.
Interesting to see. People do like those brakes for sure.
Yeah.
As for wheels, the overwhelming majority are going with the aluminums. Just 13% are ordering the carbon fiber wheels.
Okay.
Of course, start at like $13,000.
True.
It's a pretty big upgrade.
Yeah.
The best-selling wheel is that black Spider wheel at 47%, while the best-selling carbon fiber wheel is the visible carbon fiber wheel at just 7%.
Huh.
Finally, we have a bunch more stats for both the Stingray and the Z06. So if you want to look those up, it'll tell you what front lift is and, the nacelles and a whole bunch of other stuff there, caliper colors. We're also going to be doing a breakout on the E-Ray stats. Even though we were talking about, early on that close to 400 have been built, Chevy has over 600 on their ordered books or have been produced. That'll give us a good indication of what people are going with the E-Ray. And the colors are a lot different on the E-Ray versus the other ones.
Wow.
We're going to be paying attention to that as well. Again, 3 more months of ordering for 2024s and production of 2024s. These numbers will grow and change slightly, but we're seeing with 30,000 cars out there, we're seeing a really good snapshot of what buyers are ordering.
That's really cool. I love looking at these stats and seeing what everybody's ordering. It's pretty cool stuff.
Yes, it is.
Buddy, let's take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk a lot about Corvette racing. We have Corvette racing at Spa, Laguna Seca, and Circuit of the Americas. That's on deck next, here on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft's PVD chrome finish in bright chrome or black chrome will take your Corvette to new levels. And it comes with a 5-year warranty. Durability is a defining feature of the Wheelcraft finish. Their PVD chrome is superior to traditional chrome, with a finish that is brake dust resistant and cleans effortlessly with soap and water. Wheelcraft offers factory wheel exchange for select C4 through C8 models, or they can apply the PVD finish to your current wheels. No matter what generation you own, Wheelcraft will transform the look of your Corvette. With every Corvette comes a unique story, and Wheelcraft has embraced this idea. When you purchase your new set of wheels, you receive a lifetime membership to the Wheelcraft Pit Crew, granting you access to your own page on Wheelcraft's website, where you can post pictures and tell your Corvette story. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call 833-639-4231. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
The National Corvette Restorer Society is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. 50 years of affirming and promoting the preservation and restoration of the Corvette. 50 years as the foremost Corvette collector car organization for building value with its prestigious awards. Have you ever considered joining NCRS? Over 70,000 people have. We're so much more than just the nuts and bolts. The NCRS flight judging program can and often does increase the value of America's sports car by researching and publishing the leading tech manuals and judging guides for the 1953 through 2007 Corvettes, by training the best judges and by hosting local, regional, and national judging events. And when you join, you'll get award-winning magazines like Corvette Restore and Driveline all throughout the year. Joining is simple and easy. Just go to ncrs.org and sign up. There are NCRS chapters all throughout the U.S. and all around the world. Chances are there's a local chapter near you. So join NCRS today at ncrs.org. We come for the Corvettes. We stay for the friendships made along the way.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
You're listening and watching Corvette Today with Steve Garrett.
Thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. It's the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. You want your Corvette looking its best, don't you? Well, dress it up with bright chrome or black chrome wheels. Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or do a wheel exchange, and you get a 5-year warranty too. So visit wheelcraft.com today or give them a call, 833 888-639-4231. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is my buddy Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Every other week, we keep you current and up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. In segment number 2, we always cover Corvette racing and Corvette rumors. Keith, we have a lot to talk about Corvette racing. Let's start with Spa.
Yeah, so a couple weeks ago, we were here together. We were talking about, this was a weekend filled with Corvette races coming up, and we had another race the following weekend. So now we all get to talk about it. So first up, 6 Hours of Spa. This was TF Sport in the World Endurance Championship. They raced at the 6 Hours of Spa in Belgium, and it was kind of a mixed result. The number 82 Corvette completed the full 6 hours. Unfortunately, they finished 12th in the standings, which means no points there. Unfortunately, their sister car, number 81, had a gearbox issue, and that car was retired about 3 hours into the race or so. The next race for TF Sport in the Corvette Z06 GTR is the 24 Hours of Le Mans on June 15th and 16th. Think about that, Steve. That's 3 weeks away now.
Yeah.
That's a race that Corvette Racing has won 9 times in class. Sure would be nice to do it in the new Z06 GT3R.
Boy, it'd be nice to get double-digit wins at Le Mans. That's for sure. Getting 10 would be awesome.
Yep.
Keith, how do we do at Laguna Seca with Corvette Racing?
Well, we did even better. Corvette Racing got a podium finish at Laguna Seca. It was the first one for the IMSA GTD Pro Z06 GT3R racers. Nicky Katzberg and Tommy Milner in the number 4 car actually finished third at Laguna Seca. If you read their comments, the duo really believed that had things worked out just a little bit differently, they would have won that class. They felt they had a very strong car, and I think that they got tied up in a yellow flag situation where they were all set to go into the pits. They went one lap more, and then a caution came out, so they got stuck. Had they jumped into that pits first, right before the yellow, they probably would have won that race. That was good news. Number 3 Corvette with Antonio Garcia and Alexander Sims, they finished 5th in class. And then finally, AWA Racing's number 13 Corvette in the GTD amateur class, they finished 11th, but they also won the award for the highest finishing GTD entry with a bronze driver. I actually didn't know they gave away those awards, but they won it, so good for them there.
Yeah.
The next IMSA WeatherTech sports car race is the Chevrolet Detroit Sports Car Classic. That's on the streets of downtown Detroit, and that runs Saturday, June 1st. So all this week leading up to that, you're going to see stuff coming out of Detroit, the drivers and some of the things happening in Detroit. So we'll try to pick up any of that stuff and share it on CorvetteBlogger as it comes up.
That's good. And finally, how do we do at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin?
Well, this was the big news for Corvette Racing. This is the GT World Challenge America. The team there, DXDT Racing, has 2 Corvette Z06 race cars. And of course, last time we talked, we mentioned that factory driver Tommy Milner is going to be one of the drivers of their new cars. In this format, they race 2 races over the weekends. They hold a race on Saturday and one on Sunday. The number 63 Corvette, driven by Tommy Milner and Alex Udell, they won both races each day. These races are shown live on YouTube, and you can go back and actually watch them if you want to see some good Corvette racing there. DXDT Racing's next event for the Corvette Z06s will be the GT World Challenge America at Virginia International Raceway on July 19th through the 21st. This could be actually a team we could get around. These are all GT cars racing, so there's no prototypes or anything like there. They get the distraction of, you never see your car because they're always talking about the prototypes.
Right.
Well, we are the leading class in that series, so if you want to watch some good GT racing, that might be the place to go.
Nice. I like that. In the rumors section, Keith, we saw more ZR1 prototypes back in Colorado, didn't we?
Yeah, the Corvette engineering team was working out in the mountains of Colorado. We had a group of 6 or so Corvette ZR1 prototypes, all wearing that vinyl camouflage. Some of the cars looked familiar. They had some markings that we saw, the same cars that we saw over in the Nürburgring back in October. And we also saw a nice mix of both convertibles and the coupes with the 2 different wings. One of the wings is the Z06 style. We always call that the bird wing, the way it's kind of shaped. The Z06 wing, the really high wing that we saw on the Nürburgring cars, that huge, massive rear wing. So they're testing those different cars and seeing how they're doing out the high altitude, we assume is what they're out there for. We had some video showing the cars. We got some really good pictures of the rear wing and stuff. There's some exciting things happening there. Of course, they're going to reveal this car sometime this summer. Hopefully, we'll see Taj there, his last hurrah before he sails off into the sunset. Looking good for the ZR1s.
I can't wait, buddy. I can't wait. All right, Keith, it's time for our final break. When we come back, it's the lighter side of Corvette on deck next, here on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With Agreed Value Protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
VetteFinders.com is the internet's original Corvette classified ads website, with classified ads starting at just $25, and every ad runs until your Corvette is sold. If you're in the market for a Corvette, VetteFinders.com has over 500 Corvettes for sale from all around the USA and Canada, and covering all 8 generations. Visit VetteFinders.com, the internet's destination for buying and selling Corvettes. That's VETTE Finders.com.
Hey, honey, are you awake?
I am now.
I can't sleep. Since turning 50, I keep dreaming of a red door and a blue door, somehow knowing there are only choices for retirement.
Okay.
Through the red door, we outlive our money. We have to rely on our kids. We're stuck on a fixed income. It's terrifying.
Yeah, that would suck.
But through the blue door, our money outlives us. We retire on our terms. Our kids stay our kids, not our caretakers. We make work optional.
Yes, that's much better. That's what I want too. But what do we do?
We call True Wealth & Company at 913-653-8783. They specialize in helping successful people make work optional. They're our fiduciary Blue Door personal wealth managers.
Hey, where are you going? It's 3 a.m.
I can't sleep. I'm going to check out True Wealth & Company online at retirewithtrue.com. That Blue Door is going to be our retirement.
913-653-8783. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Investment advice offered through True Wealth & Company, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Kansas.
Rev up your ride with the ultimate upgrade. The Radiator Grill Store is your go-to destination for top-notch C8 Corvette Stingray, Z06, and E-Ray accessories. Elevate your style with custom-painted engine bay covers, sleek front splitters, and side skirts that scream sophistication. Keep your C8 protected with premium Radiator Grill screens. Stand out from the crowd at car shows and beyond. Use code CT10 for an exclusive 10% discount off your total purchase at RadiatorGrillStore.com. Don't miss out on turning heads. Upgrade your Corvette today.
This is the Corvette Today podcast with Steve Garrett.
Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. You want your Corvette looking its best? Well, dress it up with bright chrome or black chrome wheels. Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or do a wheel exchange, and you get a 5-year warranty too. So visit wheelcraft.com today or give them a call, 833-639-4231. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is my partner in crime, Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Don't forget, if you want a deeper dive into any of the stories Keith and I cover, you can always go to CorvetteBlogger.com. All right, Keith, time for our third segment, the lighter side of Corvette. Boost District, I don't know who that is, but they have 1,000 horsepower on the dyno with a twin-turbo E-Ray? Wow.
Yeah, they're a fairly new tuning shop. We first heard about them, I guess it was within the last 8 or 9 months or so. They took a supercharged Stingray to the drag strip and did really well with it. He calls it the world's fastest supercharged Stingray, which is not even close to what we saw the twin turbos doing back in the day. But what he's done here is, he got himself an E-Ray. Instead of doing a supercharger build on it, he did twin turbos. We saw one of his first videos. He took that car to the track and it ran 9.741 seconds at 152 miles an hour.
Nice.
Now what he did was he put the turbos on, went to the track, and now he's actually doing the dyno to see what kind of power he's making.
Okay.
He takes it to 2 different dyno facilities. The first one is for rear wheels only. He wants to see how it compares to the 6.2 liter, 495 horsepower LT2 engine. You can get the power figures for that, and then he can compare that to what he did with the supercharge. He can also show like a Pro Charger car, what it might be running. So again, just helping him figure that out. When he was on that dyno, he ran 831 wheel horsepower and 814 foot-pounds of torque. That really added some serious performance to that car. You added that 160 horsepower with that front electric motor, and now Boost District has that magical 1,000 horsepower rating on the car. But it's the second trip to the other dyno, which has the all-wheel drive dyno. What he does there is he actually does 4 consecutive pulls that put him over the 1,000 horsepower milestone.
Wow.
His best run was actually at 1,033 horsepower, and he estimates with the twin turbo setup, he's gained 484 horsepower and almost 500 foot-pounds of torque.
Wow.
Now that he's got those numbers and he's kind of dialed it in a little bit more, he's going back to the track. That should be hopefully our next video to see what kind of power that's making. Again, that 9.741 seconds that he did, I feel like that can really be turned up a little bit. We'll see how that works out.
That's a video I want to see, buddy. That's for sure. Also, Keith, speaking of 1,000 horsepower, Special Vehicles Engineering announced that they have a special run of 1,000 horsepower Yenko SC twin turbo Stingrays coming out for the C8, don't they?
Yeah, so if you know your Corvette history, Don Yenko was one of these legendary drivers back in the day, driving Corvettes and SCCA and stuff. And then he eventually became a Chevrolet dealer in Pennsylvania, but always keeping those racing roots right there with him. The Yenko name became synonymous with performance, and it was one of the places to go. Like if you had a Camaro and you do a Copo order, you do a ZL1 engine in it, that was always one of the places to go there. Today, Special Vehicle Engineering owns the rights to the Yenko name, and they're carrying on that history with a 1,000 horsepower Yenko C8 Corvette.
Wow.
They're using twin turbos for their power. The engine mock-up they have looks really well done. I mean, you look at it and you say, wow, this looks something like you'd see an OEM or a really high-end manufacturer do. So it looks really good. The other thing, too, is this package also comes with choice of stripes on the side of the car, and that's one of the hallmarks of the Yenko is the side stripes on the car. It lets you know that this is a Yenko car.
Right.
And then there's also a bunch of other choices of optional equipment like wheels that can be added. However, this package isn't for the faint of heart. It starts at $99,000, and that doesn't include the car.
You got to have the car and then the $99,000, right?
You got to have the car, and then you can get the upgrade done on it. And again, you can go crazy with it, but I'd really like to see some dyno numbers on this thing. They've had a history. They started doing Yenko Corvettes. I think the 2017 Grand Sport was one of their first, and they ended up like two different packages. They think their first package, they had like a 700 or 800 horsepower package, but then their second package went over 1,000 horsepower with that car as well. So looks like they're back. They're doing a limited build, 10 this year and supposedly 50 next year for those people that can come up with a $99,000 package price.
Buddy, I bet that'll sell out anyway, you know?
Probably will.
Yeah, probably. Also, Keith, we know that the E-Ray was the pace car for the Indy 500. We also knew who the driver was as well.
Yeah, Baseball Hall of Famer Ken Griffey Jr. gets the driving honors. Of course, we're recording this prior to the race, so hopefully y'all got to see it. I know that I've got my time set for being on the couch from about Sunday, 12 noon or so, maybe a little bit earlier, so we can see some of the run-up. Pretty exciting. Baseball Hall of Famer is going to drive the car, so hopefully you get to enjoy it. We also had another video prior to the 500 that shows two Chevy drivers, and I'm going to butcher their names here, Augustin Candampino and Romain Grosjean. He's a French guy.
Romain Grosjean.
Grosjean. Thank
Yes.
you very much, Steve. So they drive the new E-Ray and one of the Stingray Festival Corvettes around the track, and I've always liked these videos. I've been carrying them for about 3 years now. The reason why they're great is because you tend to get unfiltered comments from professional race car drivers, and many of them, it's the first time they've ever been in a Corvette. So like their eyes are wide open. They can't believe the power out of the car and how it handles. So it's usually a lot of fun. And this one was good too. Augustin Canapino, I'm saying that right? He goes wide open throttle in the E-Ray, and you can just look at his face and he knows that he's having a good time. He says, wow, this is impressive. And at the end of the drive, he claims that his only problem is now that he wants one. As you know, the winner of the 500 does get to keep one of the pace cars as part of their winning. So that is one way to get a free Corvette.
Yeah, he just has to drive fast on Sunday, doesn't he?
Just got to drive fast.
That's right.
Somebody's winning a free Corvette.
That's for sure. We have a couple stories about the National Corvette Museum too, Keith. The NCM finished second in USA Today's Best Car Museum.
Yeah, this is a fun thing, and it allows people to vote for it. It was the best attraction for car lovers. It was the USA Today Reader's Choice Awards. So a panel of experts, they first pick out like 20 nominees, and then the public votes on it for their top 10, and then that's what we get. So actually winning the top honor was a relatively new museum called the Savoy Auto Museum off of I-75 in Bartow County, Georgia. And then, of course, in second place was the National Corvette Museum. And I got to thinking, with summer road trips coming up, of course, you got the caravans and some other things that you might be getting ready for. One of these or several of these museums might be on the way, or something definitely worth checking out, with what we always call that one tank of gas trip. You can see the full list at CorvetteBlogger.com. I know there's a couple museums on there that I've been to and a couple that I really like to go to, including the Simone Museum up in Philadelphia. One of the Grand Sports is up there. Some good stuff there, so check it all out.
That's cool. Also, our second story is the National Corvette Museum was named a 2024 Blue Star Museum. I've not heard of that before. What's a Blue Star Museum?
Yeah, this is, I think, something new. Blue Star Museums are those who are offering free admission to currently serving U.S. military personnel and their families over the summer. It's a program, National Endowment for the Arts, the Defense Department, and a couple other groups have started this Blue Star Museum initiative. So participating museums like the NCM, they're offering free admission beginning May 18th, which was Armed Forces Day, and it runs all the way through mid-September. So if you are a currently serving U.S. military personnel and family, with your military ID, you can get into a whole bunch of museums for free this summer. Thank you for your service. service and go check out some cool stuff.
That's absolutely fantastic. Well, buddy, thanks for being back on Corvette Today. Have a great Memorial Day week, and we'll talk in 2 weeks.
Steve, my pleasure. Always fun to be here and spend these days with you. Lots of fun here. Again, all the stories we talk about are on the website, CorvetteBlogger.com, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today. And be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today show. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit Wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit Wheelcraft.com today or call 833-639-4231. Soul Performance Products at SOULPP.com, the official performance exhaust of Corvette Today. Ciocca Corvette at CIOCCA-Corvette.com. True Wealth and Company at RetireWithTrue.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels. Get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at Aerolarri.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at ChevyUSA.com.
Thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. If you'd like to contact Steve with ideas for Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Also, sign up for email notifications at corvettetoday.ck.page. Follow Steve and the show on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Threads at Steve Garrett DJ. Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today.